Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Henry, and today my teammates and I are excited to be here to discuss about Chapter 3, Information Systems, Organizations, and Strategy. As you know, information systems play a crucial role in how organizations operate and compete in today's fast-paced world. In this session, we'll explore how information system influences businesses, shapes organizational strategies, and ultimately helps companies to achieve a competitive advantage. We are Group 3, and joining with me today are my teammates, Taeyu, Jiatian, Eric, Jared, and Siti Aisha. We will be working together to break down each and every section and share valuable insights with you. Let's dive right in. Throughout the presentation, we will cover some essential points. We'll start by exploring what features organizations' managers need to understand to effectively build and use information systems. From there, we'll look at how information systems impact organizations and transform the way they do business. Then, we'll dig into Porter's competitive forces model and talk about how different businesses' strategies like the value chain, synergies, and core competencies are enhanced by information systems. And of course, we'll examine the challenges businesses face when implementing these strategic information systems and how they can overcome them. Well, lastly, we'll wrap up with a look at how management information systems can play a huge role in shaping your career in this ever-evolving digital world. Now, let's take a look on how information systems and real-time data are revolutionizing industries. This video demonstrates how various sectors from shipping to energy production uses data and technology to increase efficiency and to make better decisions, which is exactly what we're discussing in terms of business strategy and competitive advantage.
There's a whole new internet at work. Machines communicating with machines, sharing a wealth of data seamlessly, tirelessly, behind the scenes. Forget real time. This is between time. Machines moving industry forward at lightning speeds. Welcome to the industrial internet. Out at sea, a large cargo ship traverses the giant waves, carrying parts destined for a far-off wind farm. Tiny sensors throughout the engine ensure everything is working properly. They report back on propeller performance and power output. Other sensors above deck monitor the ship's precious cargo and confirm its condition and safety. The ship's tracking data determines the destination and arrival time. Everything checks out. The cargo is now traveling securely aboard a hybrid Evolution-powered freight train. Inside the cabin, the engineer calls up a status report on the entire train. Real-time slows. Between time, a vast universe of data is collected and interpreted. In the blink of an eye, sensors calculate engine temperature, fuel efficiency, speed, weight, and vibration patterns. At the same time, sensors in the track relay the train's location to the network, where information from all other trains comes in. This gives the network the ability to coordinate movement and optimize efficiencies throughout the entire system. And our train remains on schedule. Meanwhile, at a nearby wind farm, a new turbine powers up for the very first time. Within seconds, tens of thousands of data points are analyzed, and the farm controller delivers operating instructions to the turbine, bringing it up to speed with the rest of the farm. Leveraging thousands of hours of stored data, the farm automatically calculates how to increase and decrease individual turbine output. The turbine can tailor the pitch of its blades to capture just the right amount of wind. As the farm responds to the demands of the power grid, it delivers energy as instructed. Next, the grid carries precise amounts of energy to a network of local charging stations. Drivers can charge up and head home. This is the industrial internet. Brilliant machines providing the insights to make better decisions.
As we just saw, the integration of information systems and real-time data can drive remarkable efficiencies across industries, from shipping to energy. It is a clear example of how data-driven decisions, automation, and technologies are critical for gaining a competitive advantage and optimizing business operations. This connects perfectly with the themes of Chapter 3, where we've been discussing on how organizations can use information systems to shape their strategies, enhance efficiency, and compete effectively in the market. Now that we have seen the real-world impact, I'll hand it over to Jared, who will guide us through the deeper insights of Chapter 3.
Good afternoon to Madam and my fellow classmates. So our topic will be information system, organization and strategy. So in this chapter, we will learn about information system and organization will influence between each other. But before I dive into deeper how they influence between each other, I will first introduce about what organization is. Organization is actually an institution formed by a group of people and they utilize resources to achieve their goal and also by using the resource to produce output. For example, furniture manufacturer, they use wood to produce table and chair. Next, inside the organization, information systems are used by a group of people to support their daily works. That is why managers exist and play an important role in the organization. They need to know how the organization operates so that system introduced fits well with how their people work. And if the system doesn't match the organization needs, employee might not use it correctly and or it might even create new problems. So there are the key feature of organization that managers need to understand when building and using information systems successfully. This feature will shape how a system is designed, implemented, and how it impacted the organization as a whole. First, let's start with the business process. Okay, these are the standardized procedures that an organization needs to follow to carry out its tasks. Information system can automate this process, making them more efficient and less problem or error. And a great example would be the order processing system used by e-commerce companies. And this system automatically handles receiving, processing, and shipping customer order, which speed up the entire operation and improve customer satisfaction. Of course, we can't forget about the politics. Every organization has its own politics. Different departments of group within the organization have their own interests and power dynamic. So, as a manager, understanding this internal politics is crucial when implementing new information system. For example, when a new system is being introduced, departments that feel like they are losing power or control may resist to change. Therefore, managers need to be prepared for this problem and find ways to navigate and manage any opposition.
The next feature is organizational culture. Organizational culture refers to the deep-rooted assumption that guide how an organization works, including what to produce, how to produce it, where and for whom. These assumptions are usually unspoken but strongly influence daily operation. To better understand this, let's take a look at a familiar example from university life. We often assume that professors know more than students. Classes follow a fixed schedule, and students come to university to learn. This belief might seem obvious, but they are actually part of the organizational culture, shaping how things function on campus. Now, while organizational culture can promote unity and reduce conflict by aligning everyone with common values, it can also present challenges, especially when it comes to change. For instance, when a new technology is introduced that goes against this core assumption, organizations may resist it. Often, the technology is stalled or delayed until the culture gradually adapts to the new way of thinking. Other than that, The next feature is organizational environment. Organizations operate within environments. They draw in resources like people, money, and materials, and in return provide goods and services. This creates a reciprocal relationship. On one hand, organizations are shaped by external factors such as government laws, competitors, and customer demands. On the other hand, they can also influence the environment, for instance, by forming business alliances or using advertising to shape customer behavior. Now, information systems play a vital role in this relationship. They allow organizations to monitor change in their external environment and guide how to respond. This is often called environmental scanning. However, one major challenge is that environment often change much faster than organization. New technologies, changing values, or new regulation can all put pressure on an organization's internal culture and structure. Because of internal inertia, politics, and resistance to change, many firms struggle to adapt. That's why only 10% of the Fortune 500 companies from 1919 are still around today. Following our discussion on how organizations interact with their environments, let's look at a key force of change: disruptive technology. Disruptive technologies are innovations that dramatically reshape industries. They either replace existing products like cars replacing carriage, or offer simple, cheaper versions that open up new markets like PC hard drive. While some companies succeed by riding the wave of disruption, others fail because they stick to outdated product or business model. In fact, being the first isn't always a winning strategy. Take the first personal computer, the MITS Altair 8800. It didn't succeed because like Microsoft fast followers like Microsoft and IBM reap the benefits. So, navigating disruption isn't just about being first, but being prepared to adapt quickly. So the next feature is organizational structure. Organizational structure play a big role in shaping how a firm works and how it uses information system. According to Mintzberg, there are 5 common types, from entrepreneurial setup like startups to adhocracies like consulting firms. Each structure has different needs and level of complexity. For example, in professional bureaucracies like hospitals, we often see pyramidal system used by doctor, nurse, and admin. In entrepreneurial firms, system may be simple and quickly outdated. Meanwhile, large divisional firms often run separate systems in each location. So, understanding a firm's structure helps explain the design and challenges of its information system. Apart from structure, organizations also differ in other ways. For instance, their goals can be coercive like in prisons, utilitarian like businesses, or normative like university. They also serve different groups. Some aim to benefit members, while others focus on clients, shareholders, or even the public. Leadership style also varies. Some organizations are more democratic, others more top-down. Lastly, the tasks and technologies they use differ. Some handle routine work and clear rules, while others, like consulting firms, deal with non-routine complex problems.
Information systems have become integral online interactive tools deeply involved in the minute-to-minute operations and decision-making of large organizations. So over the past decade, information system has fundamentally altered the economics of organization and greatly increased the possibility of organizing work. From the point of view of economics, IT changes both the relative cost of capital and the cost of information. Information system technology can be viewed as a factor of production that can be substituted for traditional capital and labor. As the cost of information technology decreases, it is substituted for labor, which historically has been a rising cost. Hence, information technology should result in a decline in the number of middle manager and clerical workers as information technologies substitute for their labor. Information technology also affects the cost and the quality of information and changes the economic of information. So information technology helps the firm grow the contract in size because it can reduce the transaction cost and the cost incurred when a firm buys on the marketplace what it cannot make itself. According to transaction cost theory, firms and individuals seek to economize on transaction costs, much as they do on production costs. Using markets is expensive because of costs such as locating and communicating with distant suppliers, monitoring contract compliance, buying insurance, obtaining information on product, and so on. So information technology, especially the use of internet, can help firms lower the cost of market participation, making it worthwhile for firms to contract with external suppliers instead of using internal sources. As the result, firms can shrink in size by reducing the number of employees because it is far less expensive to outsource work to a competitive marketplace rather than hire employees. According to agency theory, the firm is viewed as a nexus of contracts among self-interested individuals rather than as a unified, profit-maximizing individuals. A principal, as the owner, employs agent as the employees to perform work on his or her behalf. However, agents need constant supervision and management, otherwise they will tend to pursue their own interests rather than those of the owners. As firms grow in size and scope, agency costs or coordination costs rises because owner must spend more and more effort supervising and managing employees. By reducing the cost of acquiring and analyzing information, permits organizations to reduce agency costs because it becomes easier for managers to oversee a greater number of employees. By reducing overall management costs, information technology enables firms to increase revenue while shrinking the number of middle managers and clerical workers. It is because information technology reduces both agency and transaction costs from firms. We should expect firm size to shrink over time as more capital is invested in IT. Firms should have a fewer managers and we expect to see revenue per employee increase over time. Behavioral researchers have theorized that information technology facilitates flattening of hierarchy by broadening the distribution of information to empower lower-level employees and increase management efficiency. IT pushes decision-making right lower in the organization because lower-level employees receive the information they need to make decisions without supervision. Because of now managers receive so much more accurate information on time, they become much faster at making decisions, so fewer managers are required. In post-industrial societies, authority increasingly relies on knowledge and competence and not merely on formal position. Hence, the shape of organization flattens because professional workers tend to be self-managing and decision-making should become more decentralized as knowledge and information become more widespread throughout the firm. Many new information systems require changes in personal, individual routine that can be painful for those involved and require retraining and additional effort that may or may not be compensated. Because information systems potentially change an organization's structure, culture, business process, and strategy, there is often considerable resistance to them when they are introduced. There are several ways to visualize organizational resistance. Research on organizational resistance to innovation suggests that four factors are paramount: the nature of the IT innovation, the organization structure, the culture of people in the organizations, and the tasks affected by the innovation. Here, changes in technology are absorbed, interpret, deflect, and defeated by organizational task arrangement, structure, and people. So in this model, the only way to bring out about change is to change the technology, task, structure, and people at the same moment. The internet improved the accessibility, storage, and distribution of information and knowledge in companies. So in general, the internet is capable of significantly decrease the transaction costs and agency costs faced by most firms. The web allows a global sales force to access practically instant product price information updates, as well as instruction from management throughout emails or text messaging on smartphone or mobile PC. To deliver benefits, information system must be built with a clear understanding of the organization in which they will be used. The central organizational factor to consider when planning a new system are the environment in which the organization must function, the structure of the organization, hierarchy, specialization, routine, and business process, the organization's culture and politics, the type of organization and its style of leadership, the principal interest group affected by the system, and the attitude of workers who will be using the system, the kinds of tasks, decision, and the business process that the information system is designed to assist with.
Now that we've explored on how information systems shape business operations, let's take a closer look at section 3.3, where we'll focus on how companies use information systems strategically to gain a competitive edge. In this section, we'll discuss Porter's competitive forces model, the value chain model, and how this will help businesses to develop strategies for low-cost leadership and product differentiation. We'll also dive into how synergies, core competencies, and network economies come into play, especially in the context of value web, where companies work together across industries to deliver greater value to customers. Lastly, we'll examine how the internet has revolutionized competition and created new opportunities to businesses to operate more effectively and efficiently. Let's dive into Porter's competitive forces model, a powerful framework for understanding how competition works in any industry. It looks difficult, but hey, stay with me. Let's view it this way. It breaks down the market dynamics into 5 forces that determines how companies compete, succeed, or struggle in their respective industries. The first force is the threat of new entrants. This force looks at how easy or difficult it is for new companies to enter the market and compete with existing players. If it is easy for new companies to get in, the competition increases for the current businesses. This forces them to work harder to keep their market share. For example, let's think about an online clothing store. Compared to traditional brick-and-mortar retailers having the shops, these new stores have fewer upfront costs, no need for physical store spaces, and can quickly launch and compete with major brands like Zara and H&M. The internet has really leveled the playing field, and it allowed smaller players to challenge the big guys, the big fishes in the market, putting more pressure on the established companies to keep up. Next, we have the bargaining power of suppliers. This force refers to how much control suppliers have over the price and quality of the materials that they provide. When there are only a few suppliers for a key resource or material, those suppliers can drive up prices like monopoly, which hurts the companies that rely on them. Take Apple, for example. They rely on small number of suppliers for specific components like the processors and the screens. These suppliers have significant power because Apple can't easily switch to another supplier. As a result, these suppliers can demand higher prices, and this affects Apple's overall cost production. Now, let's move to the bargaining power of buyers. This force focuses on the power that customers or consumers can have in influencing the prices and quality. When buyers have many options to choose from, they can demand lower prices for better quality products. A perfect example would be the online shipping that I've said. Shoppers can quickly compare prices from various stores with just a few clicks. This puts a lot of pressure on companies to offer competitive pricing and ensure that their products are of high quality. If one company isn't offering the best deal or quality, customers can easily switch to a competitor. The fourth force is the threat of substitute products. This force refers to the availability of alternate products that could replace your product in the market. If customers can easily switch to another product that does the same job, this puts pressure on your business. For example, let's say Spotify and Apple Music are substitutes for physical music medias like CD and digital downloads. The growth of streamlining services have completely transformed the music industry. Customers are now able to access to millions of songs anytime, anywhere, for a fraction of the price of buying physical albums or digital downloads. This makes it challenging for businesses that rely on traditional formats, forcing them to adapt or to lose market share. Lastly, we have industry rivalry. This is the competition between businesses that offer similar products or even services within the same industry. When there are a high level of rivalry, companies work even harder to stand out by offering better products, lowering prices, or improving customer service. A classic example of this is the competition between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Both of these companies have been battling it out for decades, constantly introducing new products, marketing campaigns, and innovations in an attempt to attract more customers. The rivalry between these two companies is fierce, and each of them is constantly striving to outdo the other, keeping the market dynamic and full of innovation. So, to sum it all up, the five forces: threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, bargaining power of buyers, threat of substitute products, and industry rivalry. They all work together to shape the competitive landscape of any industry. By understanding these forces, companies can develop better strategies to respond to competitive pressure, maintaining their market position and thrive in an ever-changing business environment.
Good afternoon, Doctor and my friends. So now I will be discussing how a business can use information system to deal with competitive force and gain a competitive advantage. We will explore different strategies companies use, how the internet impacts competitions, and some real-world examples. There are four main strategies that companies use, supported by information system to stay competitive in the market, which are low-cost leadership, product differentiation, focus on market niche, and strengthen customer and supplier intimacy. First, let us look at the low-cost leadership. This strategy is all about reducing costs so that companies can offer lower price than their competitors. Information systems play a key role by automating tasks, reducing inefficiency, and optimizing production. For example, Walmart uses real-time data and inventory system to track product sales, ensuring that they only order what they need. This helps to keep their costs low while maintaining stock levels. So by using the information system, Walmart can pass on the savings to customers. Next is the product differentiation. This strategy involves offering unique products that stand out in the market. Information systems help by providing variable data that allows companies to innovate and offer something different. For example, Apple is the great example of product differentiation. They use integrated system to create a seamless experience across all their devices, from iPhones to Mac. This unique integration makes Apple products different from other competitors, creating strong brand loyalty. Another strategy is to focus on a market niche. This means targeting a specific segment of the market and catering to their needs better than the competition. Information systems help business understand customer behavior and tailor products to meet those needs. For example, Tesla focused on producing electric cars for eco-conscious consumers. They use data to continuously improve their technology, ensuring that their cars meet the needs of their niche market while also staying ahead of the competition in terms of performance and sustainability. Now let us talk about the strengthened customer and supplier intimacy. By building strong relationships with suppliers and customers, business can improve coordination and add value to their offerings. Information systems help by managing supply chains and improving customer interaction. For example, Toyota's just-in-time inventory system is a great example of this strategy. It helps Toyota ensure efficient delivery of parts from suppliers, reducing storage costs and increasing overall operational efficiency. This creates a smooth and responsive supply chain. Now let us look at how the internet has changed the way companies compete with and the opportunities it brings for gaining a competitive advantage. There are some advantages like flattening of the business environment, improved coordination, and cost reduction. The internet has flattened the business environment. It provides equal access to resource and customer globally, which means even smaller business can now compete with much larger companies. For example, Etsy is a great example. It allows more small business to sell handmade goods to a global audience, directly competing with massive retail stores like Walmart. The internet has given smaller companies the tools to reach the customer worldwide. Another major impact of the internet is improved coordination. The internet allows companies to coordinate better with suppliers, distributors, and customers. This leads to greater efficiency and responsiveness in the market. Amazon is a prime example here. They use cloud computing to manage their inventory, coordinate with suppliers, and ensure timely delivery to customers. This system makes their entire operation run more efficiently and helps them meet customer expectations. About the cost reduction. The internet helps business achieve the cost reduction by automating tasks, reaching a global market, and using cheaper resources. Companies can reduce their operational costs. For example, Netflix demonstrates this perfectly. By streaming content directly to customers, Netflix eliminates the need for physical distribution like DVD, reducing costs and reaching a global audience instantly.
Next, it's Porter's value chain model, a key framework that helps us to understand how companies add value to their products and services. Porter's model breaks down all the activities within an organization into two main categories, which is primary activities and support activities. Primary activities are directly involved in creating and delivering a product or service to customers. These are the essential steps that businesses take to produce value. Inbound logistics refer to how a company handles the receipt, storage, and distribution of raw materials or components. This step is crucial for ensuring the right materials are available for production when needed. Operations is where the actual transformation happens. This includes all the processes involved in converting raw materials into finished products. For example, in manufacturing, this might involve the assembly line processes or the formation of goods. Now, logistics is all about getting the finished product to the customer. It covers the distribution, warehousing, and delivery aspects, ensuring that the product reaches the customer in the right condition at the right time. Marketing and sales are activities that help promote and sell the product. It's about creating awareness and persuading the customer to make a purchase. This could include advertising, social media campaigns, or even direct sales efforts. Service refers to the support provided after the product is sold. This includes customer service, maintenance, or warranties, or anything that ensures that the customer is satisfied and the product continues to deliver value after the sales. Now, Support activities are just as important as primary activities, but they are not directly involved in the production or sale of the product. Instead, they support and enable primary activities to run more efficiently. These include from infrastructure, which encompasses the company's overall management, organizational structure, and financial systems. This is the backbone that ensures everything operates smoothly. Other than that, it's human resource, which focuses on recruiting, training, and retaining talented employees. The success of a company often depends on the capabilities and the skills of its workforce. Next is technology development. It is a crucial part of the modern business as it involves using technology to improve products, services, or operations, whether it's developing new product features or using software to automate processes. Technology is a key driver of innovation. Procurement is all about sourcing and purchasing the necessary resources. This could be raw materials, equipment, or even services that the company needs to run its operations. When we bring information systems into the mix, they play a vital role in enhancing every part of the value chain. By automating processes, improving communication, and supporting real-time decision-making, information system ensures that these activities are as efficient and effective as possible. Take Zara, for example. Their information systems are integral to managing their system supply chain. Through real-time data, Zara can quickly respond to changes, changing fashion trends, and manage inventory levels and bring new styles to the market faster than many of its competitors. This ability to adapt so swiftly is a major reason why Zara maintains a competitive edge in the fast-paced fashion industry. The concept of value web is a model that illustrates how businesses connect with their suppliers, customers, and partners to create and deliver value. The value web is not just a chain of activities, it's a network of companies that collaborate to ensure that the products or service reaches the customer in the best possible way. For example, think of Amazon. They work closely with their suppliers, delivery services, and even cloud providers to create an efficient, seamless process that brings their product to the customers quickly and reliably. Key features of the value web includes collaboration across firms. This means companies share information and coordinate their efforts, ensuring smooth operations across the entire supply chain. Secondly, the integration of business activities. Information systems like ERP and CRM plays a crucial role here, connecting different business activities and ensuring the smooth flow of data and operations across various different businesses. Now that we know what the value web is, let's talk about why it is so important for businesses today. There are three main reasons. Firstly, faster response to the market changes. The value web allows companies to share information in real time, so they can quickly adjust to changes in the market or customer demands. For example, Apple is able to quickly respond to customer needs and bring new products to market faster because their supply chain is so well connected. Secondly, increased innovation. Collaboration in the value web leads to more innovation. When companies work together, they can create better products and services. Take the smartphone industry that I have said just now. The success of smartphones is built on companies like Apple's and Google's together, and other manufacturers too, working together to advance technology and improve us user experiences. And thirdly, cost reduction. The value web helps businesses to reduce costs by improving coordination and cutting down on waste. For instance, Walmart has highly efficient supply chain that helps them lower storage costs and keep prices down for customers. So, in a nutshell, the value web helps businesses to be quicker, more innovative, and more cost-effective. by connecting all parts of their operations and partners. So, what is an ERP system? Well, it is Enterprise Resource Planning System, which integrates a company's operations like sales and inventory and finance. The core transaction systems are handling daily tasks like orders and payments. For example, a clothing brand uses an ERP to automatically update inventory when a sale is made. Next, strategic alliances and partner firms are businesses that collaborate to create mutual value. For example, a tech company partners with a logistic firm to streamline shipping and sharing data through ERP. So, we have suppliers providing materials to a company. Next, we have suppliers providing supplies to another supplier. Then, the second supplier provides the material to the company. This is the difference. For example, let's say a car manufacturer relies on parts suppliers who gets materials from steel suppliers. ERP tracks these transactions. For example, let's say Proton Saga, they have their metal supplied from other metal companies. Next, we have indirect suppliers, whom provides support services or secondary materials. For example, a restaurant's indirect suppliers might include cleaning services managed through supply chain systems. Now, we have customers who buy stuff directly, while there are other customer who buys customers to other customers to the end users. For example, a wholesaler sells to retail stores, which sells to every individual buyers. CRM tracks customer preferences for better service. Supply chain management systems. It's to manage the flow of goods from suppliers to customers. Very easy. For example, a smartphone company uses these systems to track components and delivers the finished products on time. Next, we have supplier extranets and net marketplaces. What is supplier extranets? It's platforms to share data with suppliers, while net marketplaces are online platforms to buy and sell products. For example, retailers use extranets to place orders with suppliers, while companies use net marketplaces like Alibaba to buy and sell goods. Next is the Customer Relationship Management, CRM. Well, it is to track customer interactions and preferences. For example, an online store uses CRM to recommend products and send personalized offers based on past purchases. Let's take a look at a few real-world examples to see how the Value Web works in action. Firstly, Amazon. Amazon collaborates closely with its suppliers and shipping services to ensure products are delivered quickly and efficiently. For example, Amazon's dynamic inventory system and real-time tracking ensures that products reach customers on time, no matter where they are. Secondly, Ford. Ford uses a real-time connection with its suppliers to implement just-in-time manufacturing, which helps reduce waste and improve efficiency. For instance, Ford's part suppliers delivers components exactly when they are needed, preventing excess stock and ensuring smooth production flow. Next, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola works closely with its bottlers, distributors, and retailers to make sure their products are consistently available to customers. For example, Coca-Cola's Value Web helps companies respond quickly to market changes, such as customers' demand for new flavors or limited time promotions. As you can see, these companies uses the Value Web agilely, meeting customer needs and improving their operations by collaborating effectively with partners and suppliers. Let's now dive into the three concepts that help businesses leverage information systems to create significant value and competitive advantage. These concepts are synergies, core competencies, and network economies. First, we have synergies. Synergies occur when different parts of a company or even different companies work together to create more value than they could individually. Essentially, it's the idea that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. A great example of synergies in action is Disney's acquisition of Marvel. Bringing Marvel into its portfolio, Disney didn't just get access to popular characters, it integrated Marvel into movies, merchandises, and even theme parks. This created synergies across various platforms, increasing the value of both Marvel brand and the Disney's offerings. Information systems played a key role in this, allowing Disney to effectively manage and synchronize its efforts through these various platforms, ensuring that the value to maximizing the value of every Marvel asset. Next, let's talk about core competencies. Core competencies are unique strengths that a company possesses, which provides it with competitive advantage in the marketplace. These competitives often are what that differentiates a company from its competitors and allow it to offer unique values. For example, Nike. It is known to have its ability to design its innovative products and to manage powerful global brand. This strength has been consistently supported by information system, which allows Nike to efficiently manage its supply chain, customer relationships, and marketing efforts. By using data and analytics, Nike can continually refine its products, offerings, and marketing strategies, ensuring that they stay ahead in the competition. Nike's ability to integrate information systems into their business operations enables them to fully capitalize on their core competencies, solidifying their position as the market leader in athletic footwear and apparel. Finally, we have network economics. Network economics refer to the idea that the value of a product or service increases as more people use it. This is a concept that is especially relevant in our digital age, where platforms grow more and more valuable with every additional user. Facebook was a prime example of platforms. When Facebook was first launched, it was a platform for a small group of users, but as the user amount base grew, the platform became increasingly valuable, not only to its users, but also to advertisements, and better users' engagements. The more people that joined the platform, Facebook, the more valuable it became for everyone involved. Information systems are the backbone of this process, allowing Facebook to manage and analyze vast amounts of data to create an increasingly valuable experience for both users and advertisers. In each of these cases, whether it's synergies, core competencies, or network economics, information systems are the tools that enable businesses to manage resources, analyze data, and make strategic decisions that lead to competitive advantage. By integrating information systems into their operations, companies can optimize these concepts to create greater value and stay ahead in the marketplace. Let's now explore the two important business models used today, which are virtual companies and platforms. A virtual company is a business that doesn't allow all the resources it needs, but instead partners with other businesses to access them. This model allows companies to focus on what they do best without having to manage everything on their own. Take Nike as example. Instead of owning factories, Nike outsources its production to other companies. While it doesn't handle manufacturing directly, Nike controls the design and marketing to its products. To make sure that everything runs smoothly, Nike uses information systems to manage orders, track production schedules, and coordinate shipping with suppliers all over the world. This helps them to maintain control over the final product while keeping costs low and operations efficient. An example of this is Amazon Web Services. It provides cloud computing services for things like data storage and computing power, allowing other businesses to run their websites and services without needing to build their own data centers. Companies can rent the computing power they need, and they can only pay for what they use. This makes it easy for businesses to grow and adapt quickly without spending huge amounts of money on technology. Both virtual companies and platforms rely on information systems to operate efficiently. For virtual companies like Nike, information systems help manage their relationships with suppliers. For platforms like AWS, the information system helps connect many users and businesses, enabling them to exchange products, services, and data. In today's world, these models show how businesses are using technology and information systems to operate faster, smarter, and more efficiently, making them more flexible and competitive. Next, let's explore the ecosystem strategic model, where competition extends beyond individual industries into interconnected networks. In an industry's ecosystem, companies from different sectors work together to deliver more value than any single company could alone. For instance, Apple collaborates with wireless providers, app developers, and device makers to make a seamless customer experience, showcasing how industries can thrive together. Information systems enable this interconnectedness by coordinating efforts across different industries. In today's digital world, companies must consider their positions within a broader network of industries. Information system plays a critical role in connecting these industries, driving innovation and creating new business opportunities. For example, Apple integrates device and services into cohesive ecosystem, offering far more value than any individual product could. Business ecosystems are key in the digital age. Companies collaborate through information systems to offer comprehensive solutions. Platforms like Microsoft and Facebook enable businesses to connect, share data, and innovate together. Information systems make these collaborations efficient and drive growth across sectors. So, how does information system enable these ecosystem strategies? Well, as it is crucial in connecting businesses within ecosystems. For example, Amazon Web Services allow businesses to access cloud-based infrastructure without the need for their own data centers. This integration supports a wider network, enhancing collaboration and efficiency.
Next slide, I will discuss the challenges posed by strategic information system and how we can address them effectively. Strategic Information System, or SIS, are powerful tools that impact how a business operates, affecting its product, service, production, and overall behavior. The ultimate goal of this system is to give a company a competitive edge. By achieving this, it's not easy. It requires the coordination of technology, organization structure, and a strong management. There are three key challenges. First, sustaining competitive advantage. Number two, aligning IT with business objective. And number three, managing strategic transition. The first challenge is maintaining a competitive advantage. Although SIS can give company an edge, that advantage might not last. Why? Because competitors can copy with their own technology. In some cases, this system shift from being a strategic tool to just a basic requirement for survival in the market. The second challenge is aligning IT with business goals. Even if a company invests heavily in technology, it won't be effective unless it supports the company's core business strategy. To address this, company should perform strategic system analysis, which include three key areas. First, industry structure analysis. This analysis helps us understand the competitive force in our industry. We can ask the question like, who are the competitors? What is the power of supplier and customer? Are they treated from new entrants or substitute product? Why this question is good? Because this helps us see where IT can provide a strategic edge. Number 2, value chain analysis. Here we look inside the company, find where IT can add value. We can access each business activity like production, marketing, sales, and identify where technology can reduce costs or increase efficiency. Number 3, business strategy alignment. Lastly, we need to make sure that our IT strategy support our long-term business strategy. This includes setting the right goal, improving processes, and using accurate metrics to track progress. When IT is aligned with the business goal, companies tend to be more profitable and perform better. And number 3, and lastly, managing strategic transition is another big challenge. When companies adopt a new strategic system, they need to change their goal, processes, and even how they work with supplier and customer. This requires both technical change and organization adaptation. If not handled well, the system may fail despite being well designed. On this slide, I will explain about how will MIS help your career. Management Information System or MIS play a vital role in preparing me for the career in business development, especially in companies like superior data quality. There are 5 points on this. The first point is the company superior data quality. Number 2, position, description, entry-level business development representative. Number 3, job requirement. Number 4, interview question. And lastly, author tips. For the company superior data quality, this company emphasizes data-driven decision making. For MIS, equip me with the ability to gather, manage, and interpret data, which is essential for improving business strategy and customer relationship. Number 2, position description. This role focuses on identifying new business opportunity and building client relationship. MIS support me in tracking sales data, analyzing customer trend, and using CRM system. It's giving me a competitive edge. Number 3, job requirement. Most business development role require strong analytical, communication, and technology skill. MIS training provide with data analysis technique, CRM knowledge, reporting and dashboard creation, and lastly, the strategic thinking based on system insight. And number 4, interview question. There are some examples for common interview question may include: first, how do you use data to identify new business opportunity? Second, how comfortable are you with CRM or analytic software? From this MIS method, you will be able to answer this confidently, showing how you use system to support organization. And lastly, author tips. From experts suggest that to access in this field, you must stay updated with digital tools, understand how information support strategy, and you also need to be prepared to adapt system to client needs. MIS teaches all of this.